My name again is Peter Konopik. I'm the Director of Elementary Education, and this is our kindergarten and transitional kindergarten informational meeting for the start of August 2023, and it's for the 2023-2024 school year. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to start the PowerPoint presentation. Are you able to see my screen? Very good. So once again, we appreciate you being here this evening, and please know that everything that I share with you is going to be posted on the Burbank Unified website under the Student Services tab, and there will be this presentation in English, Spanish, and Armenian. And then if we need to re-record and have the recording redone in English, Spanish, and Armenian, we will do that. So kindergarten is a time for your child to acclimate to the school system, and also new families acclimating to the school system too. And we do offer tours at each of the schools, but I want to remind you, due to COVID, that during the school day, we only allow family members who are vaccinated during the school day onto the campus for a tour. We also have tours after school, and those tours are open to everyone. Some schools are going to continue to do virtual tours too. So each school will post that information, or you can contact that particular school office, and they will give you more information about the tours at the schools. We also have open house in the evening in March, and that is open to everyone. So those will also be posted too for times and locations. I just want to remind you, and you probably know this already, that students need to get acclimated and get ready for school, and to do that, routines need to be established. And I know it's difficult sometimes for students to go to sleep at night. And so anything you can do to go ahead and help your child to get into a routine, lay their clothes out the night before, talk to them about school and what school means, and that school is going to be fun and exciting. We do ask, if you haven't already started, to read with your child every day, and then talk to your child as you read stories too, asking questions, asking the child to retell a story, draw pictures, talk about the main character, etc., visiting the local library, learning the alphabet, singing the ABC song. You don't have to do these things, but it's just recommended. Maybe they could learn to write some letters, maybe their name. Once again, not required. It's always helpful for children to learn how to hold crayons and pencils and scissors. So anything you can do along those lines, that would be very, very helpful. It's important too that children start to have a concept about what is big, little, tall, short, up, down, under, over. So anything you can do in a conversation, that would be very, very helpful. Counting to 20. There are kindergarten high frequency words that we have posted on our website. And the schools also have them posted too. Something you don't have to do, but you can share, because many students are ready to learn the high frequency words, the kindergarten words. Okay. This is a sample schedule, and your particular teacher's schedule will be different than this, but this is just a sample so that you can see that our children get, language development, they get writing opportunities, math, science, social studies, etc., and music, of course, and the arts. It would be very nice that as you're working with your child, that they understand the difference between upper and lowercase alphabet letters. We're going to be teaching them about rhyming words and counting and blending and segmenting syllables. Once again, the high frequency words, those are on us, but if you want to go ahead and talk to your children about them, you certainly can. And once again, parts of a book and comprehension-like questions too. Math skills, you'll see that we follow the California state standards for reading, language arts, and for mathematics. And so here you see a breakdown of the kinds of math skills and concepts that we teach in the kindergarten classroom. This also applies for transitional kindergarten too. Science, we teach physical science, earth science, and life science. And we do a lot of investigations, and we're in the process of upgrading our science curriculum. So we're going to have a bigger shift towards investigations and labs and science experiments. Social studies, we talk about national symbols and state symbols, you know, the Statue of Liberty, the bald eagle, the flags. We talk about community workers and jobs in the community. We also talk about the days of the week, month of the year, and the calendar. And you could be very helpful if you could have that conversation too with your child. We do have enrollment that starts on January 23rd. And Melinda, I'm going to go ahead and shift this over to you as we talk about enrollment. And I think I skipped a slide. Let me go back one slide. Or actually a couple of slides. It jumped. Okay.
I'm not seeing your, okay, go ahead. I'm seeing like a Windows screen, not your PowerPoint.
I'm sorry?
I'm seeing like a Windows screen. I don't see your PowerPoint. And I did a minute ago, so there we go. Okay. If you want to go down to my page, I can take over. That's fine.
We do want, if you can, to go ahead and label your child's belongings, their backpacks, their coats and sweaters. Please know that children do lose things, as you well know. Don't feel bad about going to the school office and asking if you can go look through the lost and found and find your child's coat, sweater, backpack, you know, books, whatever. It's common. If you go to any of the schools, you'll see that we have 40, 50, 60 coats, jackets, sweaters, you know, on hangers near the office and those kinds of things. So don't be embarrassed about it or anything. It's common. We do ask that you help your children to learn how to snap, button, zip, buckle, and how to tie shoes. It's a very helpful skill. Backpacks are allowed. Each school has drop-off and pickup procedures, and most schools have valet systems, so they will talk about that when you enroll, and it's part of their tours too. We do close our gates. We do have volunteers who have their COVID vaccination, their TB clearance, and they have their volunteer clearance too, and there's an application packet too for that. Visitors always need to sign in and out of the school office, and that's just a safety procedure so that we keep track of who's on our campuses, and then also in case of an emergency, we know who's on campus too. Okay, Melinda.
Okay, I've been doing my best, and thank all of you for your patience. There are a ton of questions in the Q&A, and I've been going down one by one and trying to answer all of your questions. Many of your questions will probably be answered by what I'm about to say. So please be patient. For those of you that we don't answer questions tonight, the reason we do Q&A is because it gives us your email address. So if we can't answer your question tonight, we can try and follow up with emails tomorrow. Okay, so entrance ages for 23-24, transitional kindergarten.
Bueno, estamos hablando.
Transitional kindergarten for children that were born between September 2nd, 2018 and June 2nd, 2019. Those are children that will turn 5 between September 2nd, this fall, 2023, and turn 5 by June 2nd, 2024. You are eligible for TK, and you can go ahead and do online enrollment beginning on January 23rd. I will tell you that for students that turn 5 after April 1st, your online enrollment is going to be held on a waiting list, just because the TK enrollment final placement goes through April 2nd. We'll get that in a minute. To start kindergarten, you have to have your child turn 5 on or before September 1, 2018, which means they will turn 5 by September 1, 2023. I have had several questions from parents saying that they have children born in the summer and their birthdays are close to September 1. Can they still go to TK? I will tell you that we do enroll by birth date. So we don't hold children back. We do let them go by their birth date per the state of California. I will also reassure you that while TK isn't a great program, we have a lot of students that are born in the summer that go straight to kindergarten. So it's a mixed bag, if you will, of students. And we find that it really doesn't hamper those students, because so many of them are online now, so many of them are in preschools and the like. So to start first grade, your child must have been born on or before September 1, 2017, which would mean that they turn 6 by September 1, 2020. Next slide. I think I can advance. Thank you. Okay. Online registration begins January 23rd, 2023 at 8 a.m. For all my moms and dads, please do not stay up till 12:01 in the morning thinking my enrollment is active. We want you to get your rest. We want you to get your sleep. It's not going to go live until 8 a.m. Okay. All of our registration from TK through 12 is done online. We do not have paper registration at this time. If you have trouble doing online registration, please contact your school site and they will work with you. During the online registration process, you will have the opportunity to upload required documents, which we'll cover in a minute, into your child's enrollment packet. So that you are aware, and I cannot stress this enough, children are placed in the school site grade count in a seat, if you will, and reserved for a seat for completed enrollment. So if you are missing something with residency, if you're missing immunizations, etc., even if you do online enrollment, that isn't the end of enrollment. That does not guarantee you a spot. You need to have all of your information ready to go and complete to guarantee your child a spot, okay? Students are placed first come, first serve based on a completed enrollment until the classrooms are full at your respective school sites. And then at that point, you would be put on a capped list, which we'll talk in a minute. Intra-district permit. Students are automatically enrolled at their home school, which is to say their school's closest to your house, basically, what you're zoned for. You need to enroll them completely into your home school first. That's step one. You cannot avoid that step. Beginning February 21st through March for 30 days, through March 17th, we will be collecting applications for intra-district permits.
Hablando de permiso.
These are for permits that people might want to attend a different school than they're assigned to in their home school. So let's pretend someone is assigned to Washington and they would like their child to go to Jefferson, okay? You are going to fully enroll your child into Washington and get them a desk at Washington. Then on February 21st, and only for 30 days, we will not take applications after March 17th. You can fill out an online Google Doc that you will find on the district website and request that your student attend a different school than their home school. We collect everybody's application for 30 days. Super quick document to do. You need to do a separate document for every school that you might want and every student, please. And then at the end of that time, we evaluate space People obviously that are assigned to that school and are enrolled in their home school, they go in first, plus all of the students that might be rolling up into that school from a grade below for the year. And then whatever space is left, we look at who is requested, we take siblings into account, and then it's a lottery, okay? And per district permit, if you are not a Burbank resident, you do not physically live here 7 days a week with your child, you can qualify for your child to attend a Burbank school if one or both parents work for a company in Burbank or own a business in Burbank. You have to work at least 10 plus hours per week during the work week. You have to apply for a permit and be approved before you can enroll your child. We start taking permit applications, work permits as we call them, on March 7th, 2023. And then we take those all year long. Unlike intra-district permits, completed permit applications are first come, first serve, depending upon what site you request. But by law, we have to place residents of Burbank, people who live here, get in first, and then what space is left is considered for those that are approved for intra-district permits. You can request a school site, but it really depends upon space. Next slide. Okay, I'm getting a bunch of questions about this, and please be aware, and I know for my kindergarten and TK parents, this is a little bit challenging, but you need to really become comfortable with the Burbank website. It's www.burbankusd.org, all lowercase, no spaces. And if you go to that website and scroll down on the front page, you are going to see a link for 23-24 enrollment. Now, the online enrollment link won't be active on that page until January 23rd, but the list of required documents and what you need to do is all there. It's all listed out for you. First thing you need for TK and kinders, you're for sure, or any student you're enrolling, you're going to need what we call proof of age, which is a birth certificate. It lists both parents, so we are sure that people who are enrolling are indeed legal parents, guardians, if we have court documents. And lists the student's birth date, and that is what we use to enroll a student, period. Unless a student has completed a grade in another district or country, then we, instruction, Dr. Knapik will look at their documents and see if they're, they qualify to be in a different grade. But it is birth date, period. We also would take passport. If we have a student that's come from another country, you might not have their birth certificate, but they have the passport, we can use that as proof of age as well. If you can't find or do not have a birth certificate, and I've run into this with parents, there is no judgment here. You please and thank you need to get your hands on a birth certificate, only because we can take a prior school transcript or enrollment or a hospital certificate for proof of age, but it's only going to be good for 45 days because we do need that legal document, that legal birth certificate. Okay. Parent photo ID. We need to make sure that the person enrolling is the person with legal custody or parent. We cannot take enrollment from someone that is not a legal guardian or a legal biological parent. Grandma can't enroll, aunt can't enroll. If you are in that kind of situation where a student is living with a grandparent, maybe mom and dad are no longer in the picture for some reason, you would need to contact Student Services before you try and enroll. Okay. Complete immunization records from birth to present. We will take a Kaiser printout. You don't have to have the yellow California card, but I am going to let Nurse Lenora address that when she talks about immunizations. But again, we need all of this paperwork together, approved and complete before we can enroll a student and before you officially have a desk in a Burbank classroom. We cannot do, even if you're like, oh, I've got everything but this one thing, we're not allowed. Please don't, be upset with your school site. We are not allowed to complete enrollment unless your enrollment packet is all together. Okay. I will say if you've recently moved to Burbank and you don't have a utility bill yet, we will take the pink slip from Burbank Water and Power that says you put utilities in your name and is signed by the power company. But then within 45 days, we need a utility bill with your name on it and the service address. We need the whole thing, not just the bottom, unfortunately. Okay. If you are living with another family in Burbank for whatever reason, there are additional items that you're going to have to fill out. We will need their picture ID in addition to yours. We will need their utility bill, and we will need something in writing from them verifying that you do live with them. And then we verify that you actually live there, before we can, enroll and finalize things that direction. But you'd want to work with your school site on that. Next slide. And this is Lenora's slide. I know she's on here.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. California requires that all children enrolled in schools, both public and private, be vaccinated. Children, as Melinda was saying, will not be enrolled unless an immunization record is presented and immunizations are up to date. Please make sure that you follow the California immunization requirements for K through 12th grade. This is the requirements. You need to work with your child's physician if your child is not current to make sure that they receive the required immunizations. And those required immunizations, even for TK, are from 4 years old forward. If you come to the office, to the school and say, well, my doctor says that they're not going to give my child an additional shot until they're 5, your child will not be able to be enrolled. We no longer, the state does not allow us to accept any personal belief or religious exemptions. We cannot accept a letter written by the doctor saying that there's an alternative schedule. If your child for some reason needs a medical exemption, that has to be filed with the California Immunization Registry, the CARE system. If you are an individual that your child falls into that category, please talk to the school nurse at your child's school in order to get a better understanding as far as how your physician is going to be able to help facilitate that. So please, please make sure that you are following the California immunization requirements for TK through 12 schools. Next slide, please. So there are going to be, not a lot, but there's going to be a few students that fall into a kind of a different category. So TK students that are enrolling and their birth dates are between January 23rd and April 2nd of 2019. Those are students that would be 3 years old at the time of enrollment. If they are current for the preschool vaccines, immunizations, they will be allowed to enroll, with the understanding that when they turn 4, that they will receive the remaining immunizations required by the state of California in order for them to physically attend school. It's best that you work with the school health offices like I talked about before to make sure that you obtain all of the necessary immunizations before the start of school in August 2023. If you do not present that current immunization record, your child will lose their spot. And if there's somebody else on the waiting list, they will allow that child that has met all the requirements to take that spot. At the time that you enroll that 3-year-old child, parents are going to be required to sign an acknowledgement that they understand that their student must obtain the remaining vaccines and provide proof to the school site before their child may attend schools. We will accept, as Melinda was saying, a yellow immunization card. It needs to be stamped by a physician. All dates need to be legible. We will also receive, we will also accept a printout from the California Immunization Registry system, as well as a Kaiser or an MD record, as long as there are dates and the physician has stamped all of those dates. I wanted to just add, Peter, it's not on the slide here. One of the things you're going to be asked to do is to complete information regarding your child's health history. If your child has a medical condition, such as a heart condition, asthma that requires a nebulizer, has a severe allergic reaction that would require an EpiPen, diabetes, heart issues, epilepsy, other medical conditions, please make sure that you ask to speak to the school nurse so you can help them to understand your child's medical condition. We can get all of the documentations that we need in order to provide care for your child, and make sure that you keep your emergency information current. If something changes, if you need to add or delete somebody, please make sure that you keep that information updated. When a child is not feeling well, they want their parent or their guardian. That's who they want. And we are going to do our best in order to contact those individuals on that emergency contact. So please take that information very, very seriously and keep that information updated. And welcome to Burbank Unified School District.
Thank you, Lenora, and thank you, Melinda. Just as a reminder, oftentimes during this presentation, you'll have specific questions about your family, your child, and your enrollment situation. Please know that you can always phone your home school office and they can answer your questions. And should they not be able to answer your questions, they'll refer you to the Student Services Office, where you'll probably speak with Lauren or with Melinda, and they can certainly help you, okay? But when it comes to like your personal private business, we're not going to be going ahead and sharing too much information here about that. Just as a reminder, Disney students, you still need to, for transitional kindergarten, Disney is the only school that does not have transitional kindergarten. We don't have space available, unfortunately. And you still need to go ahead and enroll at Disney through the office and online, and they will work with you, and Student Services will work with you on placing your child. And then for the Horace Mann Special Education Seed students, technically, you are not enrolled in Burbank Unified School District. So Horace Mann Special Education Seed students, your families do need to enroll their child into the school district, okay? Back to our slide here. Part of the enrollment process is the home language survey. And so the school office staff will be emailing you information about the home language survey. And we ask that you complete it and return it. This is a requirement of the state and federal government that we have these home language surveys. So if you don't return it, you will have multiple times where the school office or a staff person will be contacting you because it's a requirement that we have this information. This is how we identify our English language learners through this home language survey. And so you'll see in the left-hand column the questions that are asked on the survey and the purpose behind the questions. So which language did your child first begin to speak? Most frequently spoken at home, the language that is used most frequently by your child when you speak with your child, etc. So it's also important to know that if you are applying for the Spanish dual immersion kindergarten program that is at Disney and at McKinley, you will need to have the home language survey completed. And if you're applying as a native Spanish speaker, that your child will be assessed. We do have our meeting for the Spanish dual immersion informational kindergarten meeting next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And that notification has been sent out. And it will be sent out again too. And it's once again online by Zoom. But once again, that's for the Spanish dual immersion program, kindergarten at McKinley and at Disney. Melinda talked for a minute about if your school of residence is capped, the process that will occur. And we do have some families that we do have to unfortunately have a cap list. It can be kind of like a wait list. And then when seats open up, then we contact you and ask you if you'd like to return to your home school. We try to keep families together as much as possible. I can't promise that's going to happen 100% every time, but we do a pretty darn good job about keeping families together. And I'll just apologize up front. Enrollment in elementary school during COVID time, as in most districts across the United States and in California, was less. Fortunately, here in Burbank, we are recovering quickly, and our schools in Burbank elementaries are getting pretty full again. So once again, we'll work with you as much as we can to go ahead and make it as convenient as we can for you and your family.
Peter, one more thing about the capped list.
Surely.
Students that are not completely enrolled with a complete enrollment packet and have everything cannot be placed and have not selected or been enrolled in another school in the district, can't be placed on the cap list. For example, if you completely enrolled your student into Jefferson kindergarten and Jefferson is full, I always pick on Jefferson, I'm sorry. And Jefferson's completely full, we will get back with you and say, we're so sorry, it's full right now. We can put you on the waiting list, but we have space at Emerson, for example. Until you pick Emerson and are enrolled in Emerson, you cannot be on the list for Jefferson. You can't stay on the cap list and not pick another school to be enrolled. You have to be enrolled in the district. That's how it works. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So our TK through 3 classrooms, we have an average capacity of 24 students to 1 teacher. It could be that a TK through 3 classroom could have 25 students in the classroom. And then for grades 4 and 5, we're at 32 students to 1 teacher, and the average is 32.5 for grades 4 and 5 per teacher. Okay. I know that not every school, I should go just remind everybody, not our goal is to open up more transitional kindergarten classrooms, and we will be doing it over time. I can't promise where we're going to be opening up because it kind of depends upon enrollment overall. So I've been in contact with the principals for the past couple of months about identifying additional classrooms. And should we have a large need at a particular school site, we certainly will take a look at it to go ahead and add an additional classroom. But once again, I can't guarantee that every school is going to be having that right away. But over time, hopefully, we have to go ahead and move services around to go ahead and make space for additional classrooms. And once again, enrollment's getting pretty tight in elementary schools, and services are pretty tight, and space is a premium here in the district. So that's kind of a good thing in a way. You'll see here our 11 site locations. So certainly always contact your home school first. Okay. We talked a little bit about kindergarten tours. So check with each school about the tours they're offering. You can go to their school website and find out their tour schedules and what kind of tours they're offering, if they're offering tours during the day or after school, or if they're virtual tours. We do have kindergarten site orientation meetings that will start probably late May, June, could be July, August. Every school does their own schedule, and they'll talk about specifics to that school. Like I had talked about drop-off procedures, pickup procedures, etc. There is a childcare available, and many of you may have already inquired about childcare and Around the Bell program, which is the Burbank Unified School District run program. There's also programs through other organizations like the Boys and Girls Club and the after school days run by the city of Burbank. YMCA also offers a child care too. So you can shop around for childcare services and not just be dependent upon the district. There are all alternatives too. And we do have at our school sites, the Boys and Girls Club and the After School Days program. The YMCA does pick up their children and take them to their main campus. You may be interested in applying for the free or reduced priced meal program here. And it's really to your benefit to go ahead and to look into it and to see, based on your family income and the number of folks that are in your household, that will determine whether or not you qualify. And so the Food Services Office has an online meal application, and that will help you to give you information about whether or not you qualify or not. Even if you think you're not going to qualify, it's really in your best interest to at least take a look at it and try. That is private, personal information that goes to that office. None of us see it or anything like that. We have no knowledge of what goes on. The only thing we have information on is whether or not a child would qualify or a family would qualify or not. We also offer parent education at the Burbank Adult School. And should you be interested in learning more about programs specific to infants through 4-year-olds or about various topics such as internet safety or coping with bullies, etc., there are programs there at the adult school too. And here's the phone number here. Okay. The Burbank Arts and Education Foundation is hosting a forum on January 31 at 6:30. And once again, this will be posted on the website. And should you be interested in joining that particular meeting, that virtual forum, they're going to be covering some topics like childcare and fundraising programs and how to be involved at a school site, which would include, for example, PTA and fundraising committee and school site volunteers, etc. So it's the first time we're doing this, so it should be a good information session. Here's our contact information, including our phone numbers and our email addresses. It's always best to start at the home school. Because oftentimes, let's say, for example, people contact me for something, and if it's something specific to a school site, I'm going to turn the question back around and say, please contact the office at the school or the principal or whomever. So but it's always a good idea. I don't think we have said this in our presentation, but we talked about special education seed students, but all special education students who are new to Burbank Unified need to apply as a Burbank Unified School District student and family. So we encourage you to go ahead and to apply. Okay. Linda, I'm not sure if you have anything more to share at this point in time. And you're on mute.
No, I apologize. No, I really don't. You covered child development, yes?
Yes.
I was answering so many questions in the Q&A.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's important that they contact child development. They are starting to take requests and lists are forming for after school. You know, all I would say is we just appreciate all of you so much. It's so hard. I mean, my youngest is 24 and I remember her getting on the bus. We lived in Ohio, okay? I remember her as a kindergartner getting on the bus. And it's a lot. And we know it's a lot. Student Services knows it's a lot. All the school sites know it's a lot for you. It's a big step. So we're here to help you. We're here to work with you. If you have any questions at all, give us a buzz tomorrow. Call your home school. They'll answer your questions. In Student Services, you can talk to Emma or Lauren or me. If we don't answer the phone, leave us a voicemail because we really do return phone calls. Okay. Or email us, and Stacy's there as the director too, but a lot of times she'll forward stuff to us to respond to. And get familiar with the Burbank website, because now that you're starting in kindergarten up through high school, most of the communication and what's going on in the district, it's all online, just like everything else in this.
I do want to re-apologize for a translation screw up. We've done this a number of times and we haven't had this experience, and I don't know what's wrong or anything, but when I had talked to our translators, we're going to go ahead and re-record this presentation on our own and then post it as a posting on our website so that we have the translations available. We also have the PowerPoints available. We'll be posting in English, Spanish, and Armenian too. Should you need or require translation services, please always contact the school. They can access our translators across the district who can help with any kind of translation services, whether it's, Russian or German or French. Doesn't matter. Okay. Nuri, Lenore, your hand was raised and you're on mute. There you go.
Thank you. I was also trying to answer questions, but at this time, the COVID vaccine is not required for school entry. That's been postponed. Should that change, then all of our families and guardians would be notified. But at this time, it is not a requirement.
With that, I'm going to go ahead and begin to sign out. And once again, should you have any questions regarding specific school schedules, please contact the schools because the schools do vary their schedules too. All enrollment is done beginning online. And then Melinda, following the online enrollment, just as a reminder, the next step would be Melinda.
I'm sorry, I'm like Lenora. I'm doing my best to answer all these questions.
You start with online enrollment and then?
Online enrollment, you do your online enrollment first. In online enrollment, what that is basically typing in all of your information like emergency contacts, your address, etc. And once you type all of that in and upload your documents, if that runs smoothly and everything, and send it in, give the school site a couple of days to call you. Because if you upload it and call them right after, they have so many people going and so much going on. They address enrollment packets in the order received. It just might take them a couple of days. But next steps after online enrollment and uploading all of your documents is to work with your school site to complete your child's enrollment and confirm their spot. Okay. I can't think of anything else. If for some reason your school is capped, what will happen is that the school site will take your information and they will actually give it to us because we have the master list of all of the school sites and where we have space and what's going on. And Lauren will get a capped form the school site will send us, and then we will get back to you within a few days of available sites for you to attend in the interim while you wait. Okay.
It's a pretty quick process too, because I deal with capped forms every day. So it goes.
Yeah, we review numbers every day.
Yeah.
We look every day.
Every day.
You might be capped in March, and by July, spaces opened up because people move in and out all summer. And we call you and say, just kidding, you can go to your homes.
As Melinda shared too, please look over the Burbank Unified School District website and toggle down to the various departments, whether it's child development, which is the child care programs, school sites, and they'll have specific schedules and more information. Okay.
Peter, is there a way I am answering questions and so I did add my email if people did want me to look at their child's vaccine records. They can email me, they can call me at the district office. My email is Lenora Aguilera at burbankusd.org. That's LENORA AGUILERA at burbankusd.org.
But if they went to the health services drop down, your contact information would be there.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to bid you all a good evening, and we'll be here for a minute. I'm going to close out, stop sharing.